Om. Samnyasashramadharmavidhatrim Brahmajnanasudharasadatrim Sadgururupadharam sarvajñam Amritanandamayim pranamami. Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namah. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yatkripātamaham vande paramanandamadhavam. Brahmacharya vrati dandi sarva vedanta panditah Shrimad Vivekayogi imam prachodayatu sarvada. Apara satchit sukhavari rashehe yasyormi matram bhuvanam samastam guhahitam tam ramanam gabhiram chinta vihinam hridi chintayami. Sada shiva samarambham shankaracharya madhyamam asmadacharya paryantam vande guru paramparam. Shruti smriti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavatpadam shankaram loka shankaram. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om. Om Amriteshwariyai Namah. I would like to thank the magnanimity of the administration of AIMS, especially Dr. Prem Nair and Dr. Narayanuni sir, because they were pivotal in organizing this program for youth today. Before starting this event, I give you a very hearty namaste from my heart. Hope you would give me back in the same vein. Namaste. The word namaste comes from the ancient Indian idea of bowing down to the divinity within everyone. Perhaps this is the only culture which recognizes the spark of existence or spark of divinity in every being. For that we are actually mocked by the world community for some time because we were thought of as monkey worshippers, donkey worshippers, pig worshippers, crocodile worshippers. You might have heard about the Indian god Hanuman, haven't you? Some of you might have been reminded of Hanuman when you saw me. That's just a joke. But let me tell you, Hanuman, now comes the road. Good. Hanuman was a personification of all the values India has stood ever for. Hanuman was absolutely selfless in doing everything. You know what? Hanuman jumped across the Indian Ocean to rescue the stolen diamond called Sita Devi. She was a diamond. Stri Ratnam in Sanskrit, she is called Stri Ratnam. A diamond, a gem of a woman, a mother to all. The consort of divine Rama. Hanuman had no personal business to rescue Sita because they were not really connected in some blood relation. Hanuman was not even a human being. Physically, he was half monkey, half man. But he had the integrity, the presence of mind, the strength, the wisdom to recognize that the woman of a nation, the woman called Stri, singular, must get the respect. In Manusmriti, we have a certain verse. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devatah. I would repeat. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devatah. Wherever women are respected and worshipped, please inscribe, hammer, nail these ideas in your mind, because these are Indian values. These are the very values India has stood for. These are the gems we have to present before the world community. Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devatah. Wherever women are worshipped and respected, there all the deities, all the gods are happy. They enjoy, they relish, they revel at the sight of women being respected and worshipped. Hanuman, as everyone knows, was a minister of Sugriva. But the moment he met Sri Rama, he became an ardent devotee, a servant of Lord Rama, and dedicated his time, effort, and wisdom for the cause of rescuing Sita and destroying Ravana, who was a representative of all evil. But we cannot write off Ravana, because Ravana had a lot of qualities. He was a scholar par excellence. He was a singer par excellence. But all of that put aside, he had this bad quality of disrespecting somebody's wife, which is considered to be a very bad quality in India. I've heard this funny thing. In countries where belching or making noises on the dining table is considered to be wrong, there is no problem to exchange wives. And vice versa also, there are countries in which they do not mind if you belch, but you cannot ask for wives. India is such a country. India does not teach you table manners, which are superfluous ideas. India teaches you to respect motherhood, women, because from women come all glory to man. And you may be wondering why this guy is going on preaching about Hanuman and Ramayana when he is asked to speak on Vivekananda. I see a clear connection between the two ideals. The ideal of Hanuman, who was a protector of women and motherhood, and Vivekananda, a protector of all the nicest Indian values. I'll give you an example. Vivekananda spent 3 nights in meditation in Kanyakumari. Kanyakumari, as you know, is the southernmost cape of Bharat. It is considered to be the feet of Bharat Mata, the Mother India. He had only one idea in mind. India was under the British rule. The history of India, the true history of India was forgotten. Indians were in deep slumber of westernization. They forgot their glorious past of Vedas. Indians forgot the idea of Agnimile Purohitam, Yajnasya Deva Mrityujam, Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. But in fact, Indians tried to imitate the West in dress code, in eating habits, even in religious worships. Just a blind imitation of the West. At that time, Vivekananda spent 3 nights in meditation on goddess Kanyakumari. Goddess Kanyakumari, there is a temple there, a famous temple. Vivekananda faced Kanyakumari temple and sat on a rock in meditation. That rock is now renowned as the Vivekananda Rock. And there is a foundation also, Vivekananda Rock Foundation, which runs the entire activities. Vivekananda had a plan for the future India. taken from the past India. The glorious Bharat. The word Bharat means Bhasarate iti Bharata. Bhasarate iti Bharatam. The country which revels in the light of knowledge. Bhas means light. The country which revels in the light of knowledge is called Bharatam. Perhaps this is the only nation which is known by an independent name which has a meaning, a deep meaning, a very relevant meaning, I would say. England, what is the meaning of England? I do not know. America, it can be given a meaning. Take any other nation. But of course, those countries which are mentioned in the Ramayana definitely has a meaning. Sri Lanka has a meaning. Bharatam means a land which revels in the light of knowledge. Now you students, all of you, are thirsty of knowledge, that's why you have joined courses. But in your curriculum, there may not be much space for these ideas to percolate in and make you true human beings. But that is why these sort of rebellious activities of presenting a talk on Hanuman and Vivekananda, this is an appreciable step by the management. I do not know if I'm becoming boring, but people are leaving. I do not know. I do not want to make you stick to the seats, but just listen to me for some time, because I'm speaking about a person who is absolutely relevant today. That's why. Thinking about Vivekananda sat in meditation for 3 nights. You see, our beloved Amma, Sadguru Shri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, is now a world-renowned icon of compassion and peace and knowledge. We have to remember one person who wrote Amma's Dhyana Shlokam and Ashtotaram, Amma's worship mantras. Srimad Ottur Unni Namboodiripadu, who was an ardent devotee of Sri Krishna at Guruvayur. And he was called Kavya Kaustubham, the gem among poets. He came to Amma by the works of divinity. We do not know how. It is all Amma's plans. And he wrote Amma's Ashtotaram, Suktas in praise of the Divine Mother, wherein he wrote, Om Radhol Savachalat Kanyakumari Martya Murtaye Namah. He wrote, Om Radhol Savachalat Kanyakumari Martya Murtaye Namah. It means, I bow down to that deity of Kanyakumari in human form. It was the same Kanyakumari Devi who was worshipped by Vivekananda before planning an idea to spread the Indian culture around the world. It was a meditation on Amma's feet. It was evident from the fact that Vivekananda worshipped Kanyakumari, and Ottur Unni Namboodiripadu, who himself was a self-realized soul, wrote that Amma is a human manifestation of Goddess Kanyakumari. This has a connection. I see a connection there. Just before leaving to America, Swami Vivekananda approached Sharada Devi, the divine consort of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who was alive then, and approached Mother Sharada Devi and prayed, Mother, in a past life, I jumped across the South Ocean to rescue one Sita. Now I am jumping the Western Ocean to rescue millions of Sitas. There I see a connection between the two ideals of Hanuman and Vivekananda. They both were selfless servants of divinity. Personification of immaculate wisdom, strength, holiness, purity, whatever you may name it, whatever quality you may name it, they were present in these two ideals of India, Hanuman and Vivekananda. He himself, Swamiji himself said, prayed to the Divine Mother, Sharada Devi, O Mother, bless me so that I can rescue millions of Sitas in the coming centuries too. That is why I'm jumping, I'm crossing the Western Ocean now. In a past life, I have crossed the Southern Ocean to help and rescue Sita Ma. Think about it. You all, especially my sisters here, have the potential of Sita Devi. Perseverance, purity, holiness, love, everything. Once a disciple asked Swami Vivekananda, Swamiji, what are the special methods that you use to gain such a wonderful, stupendous memory power? Swami Vivekananda is known all over the world for his wonderful memory power. Once he was a guest of Paul Deussen. Paul Deussen is key figure for translating the Upanishads to German. Paul Deussen was himself a German scholar. Vivekananda had a chance to meet Paul Deussen and stay at his home for 2 days. One day he saw Paul Deussen reading a very tough German text and trying to translate the same into English. Vivekananda asked, Sir, what are you reading? Paul Deussen said, I'm reading a very tough German text. For the last 15 days, I am having a fight with the book. Swamiji said, can you give me 1 hour? Swamiji asked, can you give me 1 hour? I can give it back to you. Paul Deussen said, okay, you may take the book. After 1 hour, Paul Deussen approached Swamiji and said, have you finished? Swamiji said, of course. And Paul Deussen said, I'm not a fool. I will have to ask you questions, whether you have read it wholeheartedly or not. Paul Deussen asked questions from different parts of the book. Swamiji not only answered perfectly, he answered ditto, the words printed as printed. Such was the stupendous. This is written in Paul Deussen's biography. You can verify. How was it possible? Many disciples asked Swamiji. Swamiji said, there's nothing much. 3 P's and 1 L. The first P is patience, then purity, then perseverance, and above all, love. Swamiji's success mantra was this. Swamiji said, a student must have all these 4 qualities. First is patience. Second is purity of intention. Third is perseverance, never quit. That is why Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This is a modern version of the ancient Vedic teaching, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata Kshurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Pathastat Kavayo Vadanti. See the greatness of our Indian culture. The Veda teaches us to strive ahead. Go, 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 move ahead till the goal is reached. And if you can't do it yourself, approach a master who has achieved it. That is why Prapya Varan Nibodhata, the term Varan means noble teacher. Go to the noble teacher. Learn from him. Learn at his feet. Those of you who understand Malayalam, I can chant a half shloka by Sri Narayana Gurudevan, Guru Swamigal, who was a very great reformist in Kerala, a Hindu monk and a great sannyasin. He said, Pranavamunarnu pirappolinju vaazhum munijana sevayil moorthi nirthidayanam. Pranavamunarnu pirappolinju vaazhum munijana sevayil moorthi nirthidayanam. If you can't achieve your goal alone, go to a noble teacher who has achieved the same goal and learn from him. Learn at his feet. How to learn? The Bhagavad Gita. Now there are so much of discussion going on whether to make Bhagavad Gita the national text. It's a controversy, right? In India, everything becomes a scandal. It has become a scandal capital of the world because of aimless politicians. If I ask you a question, which was the text worshipped every day and kept in hand every day by Mahatma Gandhi? Can you answer? Which was the book Gandhiji always kept with him? Can you answer? It's a question to you people, please. No, this is, am I in Ames Hospital? Which was it? The Bhagavad Gita. Mahatma Gandhi worshipped it. He himself has written a commentary called Anasakti Yogam. Congressmen may not know them. That's because that is not a blame on us. Let them read. Of course, Dr. Shashi Tharoor reads, I think. He's got some dignity about the past glory of India. And which was the book for which Lokamanya Bala Gangadhara Tilak, you may not know these names because you are living in 21st century in free India. You may not know these names. But I tell you to know these names and what they represented. Lokamanya Bala Gangadhara Tilak wrote a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita called Karma Yogam. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose said, whatever I have learned is from the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, even the great Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of Free India, had great ideas about Bhagavad Gita. If you read the glimpses of world history, just listen, just attend. He wrote glimpses of world history in the jail, even without reference. Think about his stupendous memory power. He wrote the book, Glimpses of World History, the thick volume of the world history, in which he says highly about Gita and the Upanishads. Think about that text which was worshipped by Albert Einstein and Oppenheimer. All the great personalities of the world in the past and the future, coming generation 2, definitely would agree with the same. Bhagavad Gita is a text for all. It is not for one religion. It is not for Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Jew. It's a text for the humanity. Because you cannot find a single verse in the Gita saying about attracting somebody from some other cult to this cult. No, it is a text of diplomacy. It's a text of comprehension. It's a sublime text. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka which was really liked by Vivekananda. Klaibhyam masmagama partha naitatva yupapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva uttishta parandapa. Swami Vivekananda was asked by students, Swamiji, which shloka in the Gita do you like the most? Swamiji said, seeing the present condition of youth, I would say, Klaibhyam masmagama partha naitatva yupapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva uttishta parantapa. This is the shloka which is most relevant for the India of the current times. The meaning of Klaibhyam masmagama is something which we need to ponder over. Klibata means unmanliness. Thinking that whatever produced in Germany is best. Thinking that whatever is produced in Britain is great. Thinking that praising the American way of life is best. Thinking that life is all about Flipkart and Amazon. This unmanliness of not recognizing the great glory of the past, India, Bharat, is called Klibata. Krishna asks Arjuna, Arjuna, you are a warrior, you are a captain of the army. Where from this nasty unmanliness set in your heart? Quit it and get up and fight. Fight against whom? Gita does not teach fighting against the people of other religions or people of other worship. No, not at all. Gita does not bifurcate people as fidels and infidels. No. Gita does not tell you to fight against people who worship other gods. Gita teaches us to fight against those wolves who do not respect motherhood. In the Mahabharata, the entire war episode comes only because of one act by Duryodhana. Panchali, Krishna's ardent devotee, Draupadi was assaulted by Duryodhana. Krishna and his people suffered everything, every sort of insult on them. They were in exile for 28 years. They didn't mind it. But one fire, one spark of unrest and trouble was alive in all of their hearts. That was the assault faced by Panchali. Gita shows that a war is possible against the most powerful enemy, even if a single woman of the land is assaulted or attempted assault. Now you see, every day, on a daily basis, kids are being ripped off by jackals in the society. And we are not at all responding, reacting to the call. We are not paying heed. And on this day of the 152nd birth anniversary of a great legend, a man of wisdom, a man of action, Swami Vivekananda, aren't we ashamed that we do not feel the same punch, the same power, the same fire to react and respond to the situations in India? Why do we want the Bhagavad Gita as the national text? Because it formed the dignity of womanhood, motherhood, dharma. Think about it. And Vivekananda spoke about this dharma. Arise, awake, get up, quit your unmanliness, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. What is the goal? We have two ideals, the twin ideals of the nation. Swami Vivekananda said, the twin ideals of the nation are service and renunciation. Renounce your personal joy for the good of the many. This is one of the management principles by Henry Fayol. Submission of individual interest for the group interests. Now I would take it to a broader scale, as Vivekananda did. Submission of individual interest and egoistic interest for the good of many, many hundreds of millions of people all around the world. And that is possible only when we imbibe these ideas. You can listen to this lecture and leave this auditorium and go home and you will forget everything about it. But let me tell you, if a woman at your home, own home, is assaulted, would you rest all assured? Not at all. India is our motherland and our home. Every day there are certain news coming up from different parts of the country where even kids are not left alone. This is a shame. That is why, that is the goal. The good of the nation. The good of the nation must have a very good aim. The aim is to fulfill the dream of Swami Vivekananda of a glorious India of the past. I'll tell you a story. Once a king had the desire to build a wonderful statue of his late wife, consort. And he engaged the greatest sculptor of the times and gave him 30 days to create a perfect idol of his wife. On the 29th day, the king became restless and approached the sculptor and knocked at the door. The sculptor asked, "Who is that?" The king said, "I am the king. I am eager, I am restless, I am impatient. I want to see the sculpted work." Then the sculptor said, "Sir, sorry, very sorry, you gave me 30 days and that's a deal. I cannot show it to you now." King pleaded, "Please, I am restless, I want to see the piece of work." Then the sculptor said, "Sir, I've got some trifle works to finish." Then the king said, "Hey, they are trifles, leave them aside, there is no problem." But the sculptor told him that trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. Think about it. Each activity you do every day, each activity, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you talk, everything, every minute detail is important. It is representative of your total personality or individuality. Because in India we do not understand the term personality, because the word personality comes from the Greek root persona, meaning mask. In the West, it is all about personality. How you give a handshake, how you laugh, how you sit. All these are outward movements which are measured in the West. But these are all masks. But in India, we believe in individuality, the undivided spirits, the Advaita Bodham. So that is why I said, the sculptor said, trifles make perfection. Mind you all, everyone. Trifles make perfection. The way you arrange your study table resembles your total individuality. The way you eat, everything. And this is called yogam in India. Yuja means to unite. To unite every activity to the whole. To unite every activity of the individual to the whole. That is what exactly preached by all the masters, including Swami Vivekananda. When you see Amma singing bhajans, she uses these handbells, and after singing, she places it down with the same care and consideration towards a newborn baby. This perfection comes out of trifles. But we cannot write them off as trifles. Vivekananda had this wonderful quality of attending to the small details and giving maximum attention to perfect small details. This is vivid throughout his life. Every one of you here must read his biography, written by Nikhilananda of Ramakrishna Mutt. You know what? Perhaps there is only one speaker in the entire world who could shake the world to the core with one line of his speech. That was Vivekananda. He spoke forth in the podium, I think on the stage of World Summit of Religions, Congress of Religions in the United Nations. He spoke just one sentence, an address. He said, "Sisters and brothers of America." Swamiji himself said later, "I thought I made some mistake. Because for 2 minutes I couldn't hear anything. It was thunderous applause everywhere. 7,000 men and women, highly educated and noble, stood up and gave him standing ovation to this beggar saint." I would say beggar saint. He didn't have a penny when he went to America. Such was his power of speech. He says that before I began speaking, for a moment I remembered my Gurudeva Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and chanted the Saraswati mantra in the mind. So kids, before sitting for studies, just remember your masters, your teachers here, God. These things will definitely bless you. And Vivekananda is a testimonial. He stands testimony to all these, specimen of perfection. Swamiji said, "Sisters and brothers of America." Why sisters and brothers? I have heard certain clerics from Semitic religions address gatherings as brothers and sisters, always, without fail, all of them. And I've even questioned them why they address the gathering as brothers and sisters instead of sisters and brothers. Because Semitic religions believe that God created man first and gave him soul, and later on pulled off one rib and created a woman, and a woman has only the status of a rib. So they do not really give them first-hand treatment. That's why they call brothers and sisters. But Vivekananda called sisters and brothers of America. That is very significant. It is representative. It is a replica of the culture of the nation. Because I said in the beginning, "Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha." Vivekananda was a personification of all the teachings of the Vedas. Most of the masters of India are called Vedamurti. What is the meaning of Vedamurti? Veda means vidharane, vidjnane. Veda means vid means to know, Veda means knowledge. Which knowledge? The at most one can achieve. Yen ashrutam shrutam bhavatya matam matam avijñatam vijñatamiti. That knowledge, gaining which you need not gain anything else. Yellabdva naparam labham manyate. By gaining which a man need not worry about anything else. He has achieved the center of his existence. And that knowledge is called the Veda. And all the masters, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Sadguru Shri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, all the masters of the world are called Veda Murtis because they personify, they represent the entire teaching of the Vedas. Whatever qualities, values that are discussed in the Vedas can be clearly seen in them. Vivekananda was such a personality, such an individual, I would say. What are the values taught by the Vedas? Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Atidhi Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Matra Devo Bhava, consider your mother as God. Semitic religions will not agree with me. They see God only in the skies. Which sky? Earth is a ball. In America they say there. In India we say there. Then it will become a very long line drawn through the earth, which seems nonsensical. So I would say, if there is a God, he must be realized. If there is a soul, it must be found out. Otherwise, it is better not to believe. This is Vivekananda's words. Vivekananda said, if there is a God, we must realize him. If there is a soul, we must realize it. Otherwise, it is better not to believe. Because belief is half doubt. Any belief is half doubt. Do you believe that a person called Vidyasagar Gurumoorthy is standing in front of you? Or do you experience him? You experience, then why do you believe? You need not believe. That is why Vivekananda said, experience first and then believe if you want. Yoga, take the case of yoga. Now, our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has announced in the United Nations that there should be a day set apart for yoga, the World Yoga Day. I think it is June 21st, right? What is yoga? Suppose the Hatha Yoga says that if you do this asana, you will have this cure. It can be experimented, it can be verified here, right now, not after death. Suppose yoga says that if you do Surya Namaskara every day, you will have this effect on your body. You are doctors, you can verify these facts right here on earth. You need not go to heaven, you need not get the passport to heaven for that. Suppose yoga says that by doing dharana on the Ajna Chakra, you have these sort of experiences. That is clear and evident, that can be verified. Take the case of Ayurveda, which is a part of Sanatana Dharma, which is an Upaveda of the Atharva Veda. If Ayurveda says that if this is the condition, this is the symptom, this must be the disease. That is there, evident, you can verify it. Suppose the Tantra Shastra, which is a part of Sanatana Dharma, says that if you chant such and such mantras for this time, you have this experience. That can be verified here. So Vivekananda was representing this experimental religion called Hindu Dharma or Sanatana Dharma. That is why he could say, you experience first, you challenge your clerics. Can I experience the God in your book? No, after death. Can I meet him personally? No, after death. Can I experience the heaven right here? No, after death. That is non-verifiable. That is why Vivekananda said every belief is a sort of doubt. A belief is half doubt. And I would like to share one more story by, I would tell the person's name after the story, otherwise you wouldn't enjoy it. There's a Mullah Nasruddin story. Mullah Nasruddin had a donkey for his household chores. The donkey does everything, sweeping the floor, donkey carries food items, donkey does everything. But this donkey, this particular donkey at Mullah Nasruddin's home, which he bought from the market, does not do anything. It's the laziest donkey ever. Mullah was absolutely troubled. He wanted to somehow sell it off. He went to the market with the donkey and stood right in the center and started howling. You see, brethren, please, brethren, all of you listen, I have a donkey here. Brethren, listen, I have a donkey here which does not do any job. Good for nothing, totally useless. Please relieve me from this donkey. Somehow I want to get rid of this thing. And hearing this, one intelligent guy neared him, approached him and said, hey sir, slow down, calm down. If you bargain like this, if you market like this, your donkey is not going to be sold off. It's a foolish donkey and you are more foolish than the donkey. How can you market such a donkey by calling off names? No, you cannot say, I will market your donkey, you give me this much of commission. And Mullah agreed with it. And this man stood on the podium, like every religious cleric, stood on the podium and started claiming, this donkey is from Germany. Usually donkeys have only 18 teeth. This has 20. This donkey's forefather was in the heavens, sitting just near to God. This donkey has a speciality that the moment you ask him to do, the moment you think about any household chores, this donkey finishes the project. Such an intelligent, super donkey. Then people started thronging there. Millions in the marketplace. Those who are intelligent among you can relate these ideas to the activities done by Semitic religions. It was against these things that Swami Vivekananda took his potential and unleashed the power to express the views of the Sanatana Dharma. And then what happened? There were people claiming, I'll give it $100, $100 one time, 2 times, and then somebody would say, oh, I'll give it $200. And the rate went on and on, up, and the rating went up. And somebody said $500, and behind the group of people gathered there was one guy claiming, oh sir, I want it, I'll give it $1,000. And the marketing manager was astounded, who is that guy who is going to give this donkey $1,000? He searched and looked at the person. This was the same mullah. Mullah believed that the donkey had such and such qualities, listening to the speech of this person. And he bought the donkey. And the marketing manager got the commission and $1,000. And Mullah went home with this bloody donkey. This is how we take beliefs from your father or forefathers or from the society. You gather ideas, you succumb to these pressures of the society, but you do not think, you do not use your medha shakti, the intelligence given, the natural intelligence given to you. This is why Rousseau said, men are born free everywhere, but they are in chains everywhere. Men are born free, but men are kept captives of the society. Captives of the society, the religion, the priesthood, the clerics, the preachers, the marketing managers, the donkey, everything. And we buy it. We do not want it. We know that it is absolute bullshit, but we buy it. It was against these sort of unconscious accepting of religion that Vivekananda questioned. As a student of 18, as a student of the Presidency College of Kolkata, Vivekananda was attending a literature class by Professor Hastie. He was a British man. He was discussing a poem by William Wordsworth. In the poem there were 2 words, and one word caught Vivekananda's attention, the word trance, T-R-A-N-C-E, trance. Professor Hastie tried to explain the word, but nobody could understand what the word is all about. Vivekananda stood up and asked, sir, can you explain the word trance? Professor Hastie was in trouble. He said, it's quite difficult to explain such words, but I know one person who experiences trance on and off. Oh, is that so? Vivekananda at that time was an atheist. He didn't believe in anything. He didn't believe in the donkey. Would say. He said, oh, is there a person who experiences trance? Then I need to meet him. I must question him. He was a rebel to the core. Only rebels can make changes in the society. Vivekananda proved it. He went to that place, Dakshineswaram, a village side, 30 kilometers from the central Kolkata. He met a person there, but not at all impressive. A middle-aged man with a shabby look, disheveled hairs, broken language. He had a severe attack of stuttering. Vivekananda, who was very much educated and he has read almost all the philosophy of the West, was not at all impressed. He went near the old man and asked, "Hey man, stop preaching. Have you seen God?" On the face, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the old man in the story, without doubt, with absolute astounding authority said, "Yes, my dear son, I see God always, more clearer than I see you." This answer had the authority of the millions of rishis and masters of India. Such superb authority. But he was a villager. He was an ignorant man, an illiterate. Vivekananda was shaken to the core, but he couldn't believe it. He went home and started pondering over, "Oh, this man must be mad. Only a madman can claim that he has seen God." The sound coming is not out of clapping, people leaving. Not a problem. Anyway, not a problem, I'll continue. I've got the job to do. So, Ramakrishna said, "Yes, I see God always." Up to that time, Vivekananda met many eminent seers and saints of that time, including Maharshi Devendranath Tagore, the celebrated father of Rabindranath Tagore. And Rabindranath Tagore's father, Maharshi Devendranath Tagore, was asked the same question by Vivekananda. "Have you seen God?" Devendranath Tagore said, "Son, you have the eyes of a yogi." Vivekananda said, "Keep the praise with you. I want an answer." And went back. But this was the first time an old man, an ignorant man, an illiterate, saying with all authority that "I have seen God, I am seeing God more clearer than you." He went home and pondered over. He had sleepless nights for 7 days. This answer resounded inside. He went back again to Dakshineswar, met Ramakrishna again. This time Ramakrishna came out and hugged him. Oh, hugging is a big problem in Kerala. I've seen in the West people hugging and nobody is concerned about it. But when Amma hugs people, the so-called intellectual coolies, I would say coolies because they're paid workers, start agitation. Oh, she's hugging everyone. She's hugging a man. She's hugging a boy. She's hugging a leper. She's hugging a woman. Without the barriers of caste, creed, politics and nationality, it is only Amma who can hug everyone equally. And that hug is not a simple hug of a lover giving a love. It is a hug of the master giving the disciple, the highest hug of the Divine Mother towards the devotees. And that is not possible by a normal human being. Such is the greatness, the equanimity. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, how can we identify a self-realized man? How can we identify a self-realized man? The only way to do so is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarishinaha. We can identify a self-realized soul only by his equanimity towards all beings. Amma does not categorize people and hug. Amma does not say only celebrities need to come to me. Amma does not say that only good-looking people, handsome people need to come to me. No. She hugs everyone 24 hours a day without sleep or food for 365 days a year. And that hug is the hug of equanimity, the hug of tranquility. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini. To the learned Brahmin, the priest, having humility and to the dog and the dog eater Chandala, the lowest caste, and to the cow and to the elephant, to all creatures in the world, a yogi, a perfect man will have equanimity. He sees himself reflected in all these mirrors. Such is the greatness of the mother divine. And what, coming back to the story, second time Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went out and hugged Vivekananda. This created more doubt. If somebody behaves in a different way, out to the beaten path, we feel this person has some problem. In Kerala, there was a great saint called Naranathu Bhrandan. He was called Naranathu Bhrandan by Keralites. But the Siddha Parampara in Tamil Nadu respects him as a Jnani. In Kerala, if you have Jnanam, you are pasted as a Bhrandan, a madman. So that is why Naranatha Bhrandan was called like that. He had habits out of the beaten track. Amma has habits out of the beaten track. Amma hugs everyone, treats everyone equally. And the world says she has some problem. Who has the problem? Actually, I may dare to ask you. Think about it. And then what? Ramakrishna hugged Vivekananda. Vivekananda had a doubt. At that time his name was Narendranath Datta. He had, this man is really mad. Otherwise, why should he come out and hug? His dress is not clean. He is shabby. An old man. I do not know him. And he said, the words he spoke created more doubt. He said, oh, Naren, I've been waiting for you for long. Hey, it was only last week I came here. This man is saying that he's been waiting me for long. And went in and started feeding Vivekananda with his own hands. All these created a lot of unrest in Vivekananda. Vivekananda said, stop all these fancying. I may dare to ask you again, haven't you lied to me? Have you actually seen God? Ramakrishna knew that there is a limit for words can explain. It is said in the Vedas, Yato va acho nivartante apraapya manasasaha. Where words fail along with the mind and return, unable to recognize and explain the glory of the self. Words fail along with the mind and unable to recognize and explain the glory of the self. Words fail and return. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Having failed to reach the self, words and mind together fail and return. Such is the place and glory of self. Vivekananda knew this. Ramakrishna knew this. Ramakrishna touched Vivekananda with the tip of his toe. That moment, Vivekananda wrote later, that moment I saw that my own self is reflected in thousands of people around. Every dust particle in this world, in this universe, had myself and signature in it. I couldn't see anything apart from me. Everything was permeated by divine lights. See, such a glorious vision by the mere touch of the feet of a master. Such is the power of Indian masters. They can transmit the idea. They can transmit that which cannot be explained by words by the mere touch or a hug. Vivekananda was born at that moment, not later on. With that touch of the Master Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, there was a transition from Narendranath Datta, the atheist, to Vivekananda, the servile, humble disciple of the glorious Master Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. For 5 years he served the Master, 5 years. And what did he teach? Very simple things, seemingly trifles, but they were two great ideals from the Vedas. Only the best of men could recognize it. That is why only 12 people gathered around Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to learn. Think about it. Not all of them. And later on, you know the journey. Vivekananda traveled length and breadth of this nation. It was a Digvijayam. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir. From Almora to Colombo. Colombo to Almora. I would beg and request, touching everyone's feet here, to read the short lecture series book called Lectures from Colombo to Almora. Please note it down if you have notebooks. Swami Vivekananda's lectures from Colombo to Almora. It is published by the Ramakrishna Mutt, but it is too highly priced. 40 rupees. Your daily recharge is higher than 40 rupees. Am I right? Your daily telephone, mobile phone recharge is higher than 40 rupees. Am I right? This is not mobile recharge. This is self-esteem recharge. Recharge your self-esteem by listening to the great sayings of Vivekananda. Read the lectures from Colombo to Almora. Then and then only you can recognize the glory of that great luminary who came to visit this planet Earth and spent only 39 years with us. And in that 39 years, he worked only 9 years for the propagation of the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal religion. And of all these lecture series, the lectures from Colombo to Almora stands out. A very short book. I beg my brethren, sisters and brothers, I touch your feet. Read the lectures from Colombo to Almora by Swami Vivekananda, published by Ramakrishna Mutt. It is absolutely necessary for you to understand and assimilate what India stood for in the past and what India can contribute to the growth of the world. Do you understand? Do you get the spirit of what I say? If you miss this opportunity to read, this can be a kindling to a great future. If you miss this opportunity to read and assimilate Vivekananda's ideals, you may fail to recognize the glory of the entire nation. You may end up in some clinics or some hospitals without recognizing the true potential of a human being born in this great land of Bharat, which revels in the light of wisdom, Bharatam. That Vivekananda, having touched by the Master, recognized that myself is yourself. So I must respect everything in the creation. That is why we worship everything. We have a worshipful mind towards everything, because we know that it is the same spark of existence that is in the amoeba and also in the human being. We have a worshipful attitude. Worshipful. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. This is the teaching of the Vedas. Everything is permeated by divinity. Ishavasyamidam Sarvam. Think about the glory of the culture that we have. Try to know it. You may be a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, or whoever you are, but try to know the nation that you are in. The cultural glory. Years back, I met an interesting person from Germany at Amma's ashram in Vallikavu, Amritapuri. He was sitting in the Kalari where Amma was born for some pujas. I started a discussion and asked him, he was chanting Sanskrit mantras so perfectly. So I asked him, how did you gain this Sanskrit accent? He said, I spent 20 years to learn Sanskrit. I'm doing research into it. He chanted the mantra, the Mrityunjaya mantra, the Mrityunjaya mantra. How many of you know the Mrityunjaya mantra? You are all doctors. You are all equivalent to Mrita Sanjeevani. How many of you chant the Mrityunjaya mantra before treating a person? Mantras have, of course, effects. In Ayurveda, the doctor is supposed to advise the patient of 3 things. Mani, mantra, aushatham. Worship the place of deities. Chant mantras and make the mind poised and tranquil first, and then have medicine. Then only the medicine will have effect on the body. That is an actual science of Ayurveda, of treating the person. It is a psychosomatic treatment system, not just physical. It's a psychosomatic treatment system. It goes deeper into it. There are 3 layers at least for a human being: the physical realm, the mental realm, and beyond it, the self. But let's forget about the self. We are all forgetting every time. But let's at least go deeper into the mind level, where we can do wonders in treatment. By clubbing Ayurveda's ideas towards the modern medicine and joining these together, we can achieve wonderful achievements. I'm sure of it. That is why when Vivekananda was traveling in a ship, he met a person and asked him, "Sir, where are you to?" He said, "I'm going to America to learn steel technology. And I'm going to settle there. Learn the technology, I'm going to settle there." Vivekananda said, "Sir, no. Learn their technology, come back to India, settle an institute to teach Indian youth about the scientific possibilities of steel making and make India richer and stronger." And that person listened to Swami Vivekananda's words, and now India is a very self-reliant country in the steel producing realms. And that person was none other than Jamshedji Tata. When we come to know that it was Vivekananda who kindled the national spirit in him, we know that Vivekananda had a Midas touch. Whatever he touched turned to gold. Whoever he met turned to be a true national, a true patriot, a true son of the land. And such was the impact of the cyclonic Hindu monk Vivekananda. And Vivekananda himself said, to evaluate the work done by one Vivekananda, another Vivekananda must be born. Then only the work done by one Vivekananda can be assumed even, or evaluated, or assessed. Such was the glory of his work. And now on the 152nd birth anniversary of Vivekananda, we stand here astounded at the glory of that great son of Bharat Mata. You know what? While Vivekananda was addressing the gathering there, he said, "Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart in joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome you have given us. I thank you in the name of the mother of all religions, the Hindu Dharma. I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindus of all classes and sects." He thanked the world in the name of the most ancient religion of the world, which taught values, not bifurcation. Vedas do not classify people as believers and non-believers. To classify human beings as believers and non-believers is like classifying a donkey from a greater donkey, I would say. Because there is no possibility of belief in Indian system. It is experience, and then believe if you want. That is why Vivekananda said, if there is a God, we must realize him. If there is a self, we must realize it. Otherwise, it is better not to believe. He questioned every sort of superstition, both within and without. Once in France, a Christian priest mocked at Swami Vivekananda, saying that Indians are penis worshippers. The priest said, because we have Shivalingam worshipping in India, Shivalingam, everywhere. Swamiji said, if Jesus Christ had human flesh for the Last Supper, what you said is also right. If not, this is not also true. Think about it. It is Swami Vivekananda's words. I am not ashamed to speak in front of you these matters. Swamiji said, if Jesus Christ had eaten human flesh for the Last Supper, whatever you said is true, otherwise not. Would you agree with that? The priest said, no, he didn't. Then we Indians do not worship the penis. We worship Shiva Lingam. The word lingam means a symbol. Symbol. Pullingam means that which denotes a male, masculine gender. Strilingam, that which denotes a feminine gender. Napumsakalingam, maram, that means tree, books, pieces of earth. All these are Napumsakalingam, showing neither of these. Sivalingam, the word Sivam means the auspicious glory of God in every being. Sivam Mangala Swarupam, the auspicious spark of existence in every one of us. So Sivalingam is a representation of the collective spark of existence, the collective universal consciousness, representing that universal consciousness. It is a mark and symbol of universal consciousness. That is why the atomic reactors in everywhere in every country is in the form of Shivalingam. Would you say that scientists are penis worshippers? No. That symbol, that particular shape, the cylindrical shape, has some speciality to accommodate more energy. Now recently the newspaper The Hindu, had a picture of the imaginary picture produced by NASA of the universe, not Earth. If the universe can be given a shape, it would definitely become an Andam, the cosmic egg said in the Vedas, the cosmic egg, the Hiranyandam, the glorious golden egg, the cosmic egg. Half of the cosmic egg can be worshipped as Shivalingam. That means worshipping Shivalingam is a representation of worshipping the entire universal energy, the collective total energy of the universe. That is why in the NASA, even when you enter, there is a very big statue, an idol of Nataraja. Scientists, they worship Shiva. Now religions have become apologetic. They know that the earth is not flat. They know that the sun is far more bigger than the earth. It is not a mere light. 10,000 of earths can be stuffed in one sun. Now the scientists have proved it beyond doubt. Now religions are running for cover. But Sanatana Dharma stands the test of time through acharyas like Vivekananda, intelligent, logical, sensible acharyas like Vivekananda. And I thank that glory of Acharya Parampara starting from Sadashiva up to our master Sadguru Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, and request you, all of you, to read Vivekananda's works and assimilate a single idea at least. That is why Vivekananda said, take up an idea and make that idea your life. Thank you very much for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to deliver a discourse on the great luminary saint Swami Vivekananda. I offer all my words at the lotus feet of the Divine Mother, Sadguru Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. Om Amriteshwariyai Namah.